Thanks for joining us here on our old abandoned farm that we're turning into a thriving homestead and breathing life back into it. So while the house is not a priority, I mean, it's pretty buggered. If you want a cheap property, like our homestead, you know, we're on 4 acres and it's pretty raw out here. It's just pasture, so we've got free reign to do what we want. There's some outbuildings that are literally falling apart, which is our project this week. You know, but the house needs a lot of work, but it's 2/3 livable is what I'll call it. A third is falling into rabbit warrens. The stumps are bugging. The roof is not too bad. She's waterproof. That's what's important to us. There's a fireplace to keep us warm. So yeah, we're living pretty simple at the moment. It feels like we're kind of camping out in our own beds, but in the house. And we're okay with that because we paid well under $200,000 for this property, and so to us it's worth it. We have no mortgage, no bills, and that was really a huge goal of ours. So basically what we would pay for a mortgage is money that we set aside each week in our budget to do up the property. That's how we're looking at our money situation at the moment. The garden shed is our project this week. So we have this, I don't know what it was used for. There's a few outbuildings like stables and stuff, but this shed is actually like, I don't know, they've reinforced it with like timber posts and wire and things like that, but it's definitely like rotted out. She's gonna go. And before that happens, we are going to put new posts in, resheet it. We got some polycarb so that we can do the roof, and yeah, we're gonna do it up and turn it into a nice little garden shed because it is completely adjacent to the future veggie gardens. Now we're feeling the pinch for spring. I'm sure a lot of us are here in Australia. Middle of winter, but you know, spring's right around the corner, so we're starting seeds. We're trying to get our garden beds established because there's nothing here. We are using wood chips. If you haven't seen our other videos, I mean, we kind of share a week-to-week basis of what we're up to, so they're a little bit higgledy-piggledy all over the shop, but at the same time, we do showcase the garden in, you know, most of those videos, and soon enough we'll have compost in them and we'll be growing things and it'll be going ahead. But this week it's the garden shed. This new garden shed is right next to the windmill and the tank. That way we are able to put a tap inside so that I can water my seedlings. So Tim's got some plumbing. You can probably see where it's like been opened up here where the dirt changes, or from like pasture to dirt. We've got a line running, as you can see here. So he's able to tee that off to the back of the garden shed. We've got, I think, 3 bathtubs all up. There's one in that trailer that we just moved out because the worm farm is going to be here. So we're hoping to crank out the worm farms. And so yeah, we've kind of, this one was from the property. It's so heavy, like we can only lift it with the machine. So we're pretty stoked to be able to start on this project. It feels like we've got a few projects on the go. But like we've mentioned, we are chasing spring. Spring is not far away now. So yeah, we just have like numerous jobs to get through. We have a list going. And while the weather is nice, we are keeping at it. Even when it's raining, to be honest, we're still doing stuff. But a garden shed, I'm feeling pretty spoiled about that one, if I'm being honest with you. I didn't get a garden shed at the last place. Tim had a big like tool, you know, proper shed. And I'm gonna get a garden shed before he gets a proper like workshop shed. So I'm sure I'll end up sharing. At the moment I'm sharing with the chickens and the dogs. Oh, the light, you probably can't see that. just getting all my gardening stuff out of that shed while Tim does all the big stuff. Tim's just trying to get his level because we're going to use stirrups for the posts. But nothing's even or level. It's all over the bloody shop, so.
Try again.
Same area again?
Yep. This end.
There's always so much preparation work when it comes to building things and setting things up. So a lot of it is just string lines, levels, angles, that kind of thing. But it does make the job go a lot quicker once you kind of get stuck into it. All right, we're back from a lunch break. We're going to get all the chickens out of here, messing up the string lines.
Keep it above it, keep it tight.
Caillou's home today.
Got it?
Yep.
Yep.
Be gone, chickens.
Losers.
No. And dogs. Not kids, you guys get to stay. Thought I'd just show you briefly while I'm walking past what Tim's been up to in here. So these have been concreted in. We have got more concrete because he's not happy with the amount in there, even though I think there's like 40 bags of concrete in these. There is another row of them outside. But yeah, once we can get the concrete all finished, we can get the posts in and just kind of tear all the old structure down and get the new one built. I wasn't feeling very well this morning, so I've got my chair out here in the orchard. I just hung out with the dogs and the chickens. It was actually really nice and relaxing. I'm starting to feel a little bit better now. And Tim is back working on the garden shed, so he's starting to get the posts in. The posts are from our old shed that we pulled down at the old house because anyway, we had some council stuff going on and we decided it was easier, even though we had all the drawings and everything, to just pull it down and bring it with us and reuse all of the materials, which are very much coming in handy. So this is how it's looking at the moment. Sheets of metal are coming off. Tim says some of the sheets of metal are actually stuck together by rust, which we find typical and slightly amusing. Randy, our rooster, he's being very noisy at the moment because spring is coming. On a positive note, Tim managed to get 3 rabbits this week, so we've got rabbit stew for dinner. They really have been just atrocious here, and I've been really nervous now that we're planting trees that they're going to cause us a lot of dramas here and start digging around. Like, I've tried to put mulch around, but as you can see here, it was all nicely piled up and the chickens have just put it everywhere. It's just a hot mess. This one's the same, just spread everywhere. We've only got a few down this end which actually still vaguely resemble how we piled it up. So we knew that was bound to happen, but it was more just to protect the root bases from the rabbits. Another job I've been doing is trying to clean up our old beehives. So So we are trying to remove all the old wax and stuff, and our current beehive have found them, so they're helping clean that up. They didn't die from disease or anything, so I'm not worried. There is a bit of like moth in there, but yeah, we've been cleaning it all up. I've got washing soda to wash them with hot soapy, well, with water, with washing soda and hot water. But yeah, I just wanted to show you just briefly. I got a few more native plants from the nursery yesterday. I've got to find the name of it. There's a nursery in Hamilton, and they have like a special section where they're like $5 for these like sad looking plants. And I basically am collecting my natives and some other things from there. Like our Tangelo was $10 from their nursery. The strawberries are doing okay. We've actually had heaps of new growth. Hopefully they'll explode once we put them in the ground. This was a great buy. I'm really happy with them. So I think I've mentioned before there was 63 in there. That's if they all transplant well. I picked up this little yellow raspberry that's actually got two in there, and some more coming through. I'm not sure if you can see that, the camera's struggling. And that was discounted to $4, so it's a winner. This really needs to have a bit of love. I think that's thyme, isn't it? Yeah, thyme clearance as well. She'll be right. And then this is just our little setup at the moment. Just keeping everything's germinating really well now under there. I've even got the onions, which I sowed those seeds in mid-July, I think it was. Oh gosh, maybe earlier. I'll have to look up the date and I'll put it on the screen. And they have finally started germinating. That's taking a very long time. These are the tomatoes and capsicums that I showed in last week's video. They still haven't germinated, but the bubble wrap's working. Like I can feel it's nice and warm underneath there, so I'm pretty content with that. If you've noticed in this video there's a pile of glass here, it's because this entire area out here is full of glass, and that is nothing in comparison to what we have collected. We are going to take the recycle bin out there this week and get stuck into picking it up, because we want to be able to walk around here barefoot. I love that there's no prickles here. So like Mildura, where we're from, like that area, that Sunraysia region, the three-corner jacks or double G's, whatever you want to call them, are just rampant, and we don't have any of that here. But we live in an abandoned property. No one's lived here for around at least 10 to 15 years, and there is glass everywhere. And we have friends that also live in an old abandoned house, and they've got the same problem. So yeah, if you're going to buy something like this, just be prepared. There is just, I don't know, a lot of broken glass. It's a shame, but it is just the reality. I've been planting some of my native trees as well. So I've been doing them in the afternoons. I just find that they transplant a lot better then. So I'll show you what I've got. I did not string line it or measure it properly, because this area is going to be really filled out with, like, once the trees are established, you know, they'll be like 3 meters tall. Some will be around 1.5 meters to 2 meters, and there'll be a lot of understorage. I'm really going to be building that up with a mass variety of natives and ground covers and things. And then from there, I will then pull it inwards and have more like medicinal stuff. So this is just the border of almost half the property is like going to be bordered in native. Poor Tim's like, that's not even, and he likes things to be really like straight, but that's just not my style. And this is kind of like my free range area where I get to go a little bit wild. So as long as they're, you know, about 1 meter off the fence line, because we are replacing the fence as well at some point, so that way they can get in there with that machinery and work on that. But this is what I've got so far. So this one here, I know it looks really small, but it's actually a lemon verbena. It will grow really, really big, and I'm just hoping it can survive. This is one of my discounted plants, so you just never know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. The rabbits didn't get it, so I'm calling that a win at the moment. This little one here is actually used a lot as a hedging tree, or plant I should call it. That is Naringa. Also, I'm very excited to get the Myoporum in. Oh, the shade. All right, hang on guys. The Myoporum, which I've been nurturing, it's flowering and I think it's still looking really nice and healthy considering it was again in the discount section. This one's gonna get really big. I think it's like 3 meters wide and 3-4 meters tall, so maybe even bigger than that. I can't quite remember, but it's oh actually here's a label. 5 meters tall and 3 meters wide potentially. So this is going to be a beautiful big tree that's going to really give us lots of coverage, I'm hoping. I absolutely loved the ground cover in that. Well, the old house, it smothered out so much. It was absolutely fantastic. I haven't given you guys an update on things out here for a while. I mean, I did show you that this is like drowning on my Instagram. It's just terrible. It's going to collapse at some point, but Tim's a bit busy and I haven't drilled any holes myself. This is going okay. That's just there to stop chickens from demolishing it. The peas are looking amazing. The lettuce was like an epic fail, but that's all right. That's why we have that. And then the parsley's doing okay. We've just had chickens eating through the fence. These look like potatoes to me, which I did not plant. I did put radishes in, but I guess it could be a radish. There's nothing growing at the base. Like I would expect on a radish. So I don't know what's going on with that. Some of the garlic's looking okay. Some is looking terrible. And the radishes look amazing. Here, I'll show you. Like they're ready to pick now. Gorgeous. The chives I saved for like $1 or something are doing good. And the lettuce, I mean not the lettuce, the kale is great. I mean the chickens are loving it, which is fine. They're looking good. And then I think these were some broccoli, but obviously they're not gonna, probably not gonna do much. And I also need to plant this tree. This was from my father-in-law's wife, Sharon. So huge thanks to Sharon if you're watching. It is gorgeous and it's going to be a really nice big tree. So that's going to go up in the native garden up here. We just need to find somewhere for it. Another big win we had this week was a lovely lady in Mount Gambier was giving away bulbs for free. Now we've had bulbs in our garden before at the old place and yeah, they really take over. So that'll be me in a few years time. But I got this entire bag full of bulbs. I think there's a geranium in there as well that I need to plant up. But yeah, a huge variety of bulbs. So I'm really excited to get those in a pot because we will plant those up at some point later. All right, back to the shed because that's really our main project this week. And Tim has been working very hard on it. So we'll just see where he's up to. You're clever, Clogs. Our bees must be doing orientation flights. I thought I'd bring you over. I was just showing you guys the shed and where Tim's up to, but these guys are going nuts. And we've just noticed as well, because we've had this sunny weather the last few days, that the hive needs to be leveled up. It has filled that box and it's really strong now. And we're actually thinking we might try and split it at the same time because we've got a couple of flow hives and just we'll know once we get in there, but I'll show you guys. They are just super busy foraging and just look really strong. I also really like the queen to this hive. She's been very calm. She keeps them all. I can smell the honey from here, so they've obviously done okay gathering from here. I mean, obviously our block of land hasn't really got much, but been able to find plenty in the area. We call this a false spring because we are still in winter in the south parts of Australia, so it's actually generally pretty cool, but I'm out here in shorts and a singlet at the moment, and I think it's all meant to change tomorrow. It goes back to being really cold and rainy, but we make the most of these days, and so do the animals, like the bees and all the wildlife. We drove into town the other day, and all the kangaroos were like just laying down, just kind of relaxing on the side of the road. And then in one of the pine forests that had been chopped down, there was like emus. I've never seen emus lay down and just be so comfortable. But yeah. Oh, I just found a massive chunk of tin. That would really hurt. I've been picking up glass. So while Tim and Hudson have been busy doing this, I've been doing lots and lots of washing and making the most of this weather. I've been picking up glass. I want to walk around barefoot. I don't know what all the chickens are doing over here at the moment, but this is my glass bucket. You can see there's all sorts of other bits, but it's predominantly glass. I just think that's just shocking, really, and there's a lot more where that came from. Ooh la la. Please excuse my son using my wheelchair as a toy. It made me very nervous, but for anyone that doesn't know, I have a neurological condition and I'm an ambulatory wheelchair user. So yeah, I have some health concerns, and this made me really freak out because he was like rolling around in the paddock with it, and if he breaks it, that's my legs at times. So, children.
Nearly bang on. So I'm happy. That's happy. Okay, so you see these spots like this that are soft. If you come across them, literally walk them in like so. Get a couple of handfuls of dirt, throw on there, grab your screed, put it in front of the screed, and you will fill majority of your holes. Alright, that's your start. So from there, you need to make the whole lot of it the same. Keep an eye on, look where the timber is, look where the dirt is to the timber. This timber's level. This is why we put level things in, okay? I know that the bottom of my posts are all the same because of all my lovely string lines that I had. I know that this is level because I've just put that in with a level. I know the dirt is roughly about a 25 mil, an inch below. Keep it on. It'll be the same the whole way around, okay? That's your job.
Yay!
Got a lot of dirt to move still.
The days like this where you're like, should I choose school over homeschool? No, still prefer homeschool. Yeah.
Beaches are more annoying.
Yeah, your principals here are awesome. Some of them. Is that me? Am I the best principal?
I don't know. You get the second best cup.
Alright, how did you go?
Oh, I went really well.
You did
thank
really well.
you.
How did I go?
Yeah. With what? You haven't done anything this week.
I haven't.
No,
I haven't done anything.
No.
Nothing at all. All the clothes washed themselves. The
All the-
bread made itself.
Well, yeah,
The dinners all were just like magic.
exactly. See, we have a magic fairy that comes along and just makes things at night.
You're so lucky.
I am. Yes, thank you.
So how many days do you reckon this took all up to build?
About 3.
Yeah.
Like 3 8-hour days, basically.
Yeah.
And then we've got another maybe half a day or so of flattening out the floor ready for crusher dust.
Yep.
And then another sort of half day. So probably 4.5 days all up, sort of thing.
It's not too shabby though. I mean, it's a really practical space. We've obviously still got a few things to do, like Hudson's like screeding it and leveling it all out today because we're going to get some crusher dust to put in. What did you say, like 100 mil?
100 mil, yeah. 100 mil. We'll just go with 100 mil.
I was going to say 10 centimetres, but I know that he works in millimetres. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's only a garden shed. We might put doors on it to put, you know, a 4-wheeler or things like that in to lock it up, but it doesn't need concrete. So crusher dust, if you put it in correctly and water it in and everything, it basically sets like concrete anyway. So we've put some timber around the bottoms so to protect the tin and for it to fall out, so it doesn't fall out, sorry. And then we'll crusher dust it with about 100 mil of crusher dust, and then we've got to do a water tank pad on the outside over near the windmill as well.
Yeah, we've decided to pop a couple of tanks in, like next to the worm area that I showed you guys earlier. But yeah, so that's the garden shed almost done. It's been a big project this week, but it's good to have it almost complete.
It's used up a lot of old material. This is all made out of old materials that we had laying around from a previous build.
And we're going to reuse the tin from it because the next job is like enclosing the orchard so we can leave the chickens in there and building pens. So that's where we're going to use it, isn't it? That tin?
Yeah, the old tin off of what the building was that I've replaced here, we're going to use for the chicken pens.
Yeah.
Which is hopefully be done within the fortnight. Fencing and chicken coops up so we can get the chickens into one area instead of roaming the whole property.
Whole thing, because I've got a compost order coming, so I'd like to get the garden kind of like finished and ready to go. Hudson's going to possibly mow that for me probably tomorrow now. He's a bit busy today, but yeah, anyway, my arm's hurting, so
Yep.
I think that's where we'll leave this video, but we're pretty stoked with that. Thanks so much for the support, guys. We really appreciate it. And have a ripper weekend, and we'll see you guys next week.
Sounds good.